So
let's try this again. Maybe the goat will not try to attack me.
So, Four Legs for Healing can be found on Facebook. We're actually just getting that Facebook site up and running, and then Four Seasons Ranch is our main page, and you can find that again on Facebook. I also have a TikTok. Haven't started YouTube yet, but I'm thinking.
I told her it's not that bad. I can do it. She can do it.
With these crazy animals, there's always something entertaining to see, as you'll notice as you're watching.
She also has 2 sons, and I'm pretty sure one of them can learn how to video edit with no problems.
That's probably true. So, Four Seasons Ranch is located in Allegheny County in Rawlings, Maryland. So, just outside of Cumberland and Kaiser, West Virginia. So, please, if you're out and about, check out our site. Follow us, like us.
It is on Google Maps too.
I am on Google Maps.
I found that out.
But do me a favor and make sure you turn on to Beer Lane and not Davis Lane, where Google sometimes likes to send people. Because if you go that route, you will end up in our field. Don't ask. When we had work done, our contractor changed the pin.
Oh, okay.
So it literally will land people in the middle of our field, and I haven't figured out or been able to fix it no matter how many times I ask. So I just try and warn people. But we love visitors. We don't turn people away. We love to get people out and about and being able to interact with our animals. That's why we have them as friendly as we do, so that anyone and everyone can enjoy them as much as we do.
Except for Peaches.
Except for Peach. Princess Peach is a little naughty. Again, she loves her mommy. She's not naughty to her mom. Just literally everyone else.
Just the camera guy.
just everyone else. Letting him do that. Storm! Are you serious right now? You're gonna let him nurse on you. He's 1,000 freaking pounds. You're naughty, Storm. Now I got everybody mad. Hi, guys. Are you on?
I am.
Okay. So we just have a small family herd. So right now we run a closed herd, but we will be picking up a new bull because we lost our bull last year. He bloated suddenly in the field. So unfortunately, we didn't have any babies this year. So we've got a small
Apparently you got one.
Really only use them for meat. Stop it, Storm. And he should not be nursing. That cow is over a year old. He's clearly a complete brat. You're nuts. Everybody has names across the board.
I don't think you're going to be able to stop it.
It's freaking ridiculous. I can't even imagine she's still milking. There's no way. So, that's Mama.
Clearly.
You've got Mulan, Melvin, Horns, Socks, Moogly, and Boo, who's hiding.
Horns.
Boo's the youngest. He was our last calf before we lost our bull. You're nuts. Never in my life. And then Reba's back here. So.
And a duck.
Reba used to, oh yeah, we've got our own geese flock here as well. But so this is Melvin. Melvin, when I got him, he actually had a broken leg. Well, not broken, but he was not using his leg. He had gotten stepped on as a baby. So we brought him in knowing that we may or may not be able to get him back up and going. But we bottle fed him. We did some electric shock treatment, like a TENS unit on him, which got his muscles built back up. And you wouldn't even know now that he had any issues. But he's super friendly. we bring him down when we bring kids in. So we like to do a lot of work with kids. I think it's extremely important to enrich these kids and get them to learn what these animals are for, what we do, get them hands-on experience with different animals, different livestock across the board, so that they know what to get into, whether they're in ag, 4-H, or they just have an interest. These guys, he's definitely as friendly as they come. We can move him with just one person back to the barn if we need to. He's been on a halter. He does not like it, but he'll be on it. But they all kind of have their own little unique personalities. But I insist on having a herd that you can stand in. You can't touch everybody. Some of them will let you rub on them a little bit, but they all know that you're not here to hurt them, so you can interact pretty well across the board. I've also had calves out of Moana, Milan, and Mama, obviously, and I can pick up the baby in the field minutes after they give birth, and not one of them has been aggressive.
So you got a mixture in here.
I do. So some of our guys, so horns and socks were bought at auction about 2 years ago, as a cheap purchase, to be quite honest with you. And they've grown pretty well overall, but they've all kind of just grown with us. But most of them are Angus and Hereford crosses.
That one is not.
Our bull was no, not those two. Those two are not. Those two, like I said, we bought those at the auction. They were just kind of
like a shorthorn or dairy or something.
He was a last minute purchase he went cheap. That's why he came home. Because I felt bad there were 3 of them. We may or may not have eaten one of them. Sorry, huh, Norman went to freezer camp. But this is what I recommend for people that are just getting into it. When we started, we had 0 experience. I did not come from farm life. I came from suburban life. Now I've had animals from flying squirrels, regular squirrels, rats, cats, dogs. Pretty much if it needed a home, we could give it a home. But I never had big livestock. Never even knew I wanted big livestock, at least not cows. And when we came here and after we did some basic work, my husband had a great idea to get cows. Yeah. And one of the reasons that I keep my herd so calm and people oriented is because the first cow that we bought and brought here, we brought 3. And of those 3, when we put them into the barn area, one of them took off. Went through 3 different fences. We ran across 220. We ran into the woods. We followed that cow on Dan's Mountain for probably a good month and a half before he finally found some cow friends at our neighbors across the way. And unfortunately, cows remember. Believe it or not, I swear to you, cows remember. And every time my husband and I would go to pick up this cow, he would act nuts. He would run. He would act like he was going to destroy everything. So we finally just sold him to our neighbor and let them keep him, because clearly he didn't want to come back to our family.
What'd you do?
I don't know, but it was definitely trauma for that poor guy. So at that point I told my husband that this is if we were going to have a herd of cattle, we would ensure that they're all friendly, they can all be handled, moved when needed. So this is what we've got. And eventually we'll have a bull. I don't know whether we'll bottle feed another bull. Our last one was a bottle baby. I don't know if I'll do that again, because truthfully I need a friendly bull now so that we can continue to grow our herd a little bit.
You know, if you bottle feed one now, it might be a year or two.
Yeah. It'll be next year before I get anybody ready to breed. So, and I'm already a year out. I'm already a year down, which, I mean, again, we only use them for us. So it's not, this isn't a business. I don't make a ton of money on the cattle side of things, but I do keep my family fed. I do keep my family healthy. So we need them, obviously, to continue to live that lifestyle.
Now, when you put one in the freezer, do you leave it out on grass or do you feed it?
We feed. We grain them. We corn and grain at the end to finish them off. That way they get the nice marbling. You know, everybody has different ways of doing it, and nothing's wrong or right. It kind of depends. We like a little bit of marbling at the end of our cow. So for us, we like to do the grain. It gets that fat content in there at the end. But otherwise, these guys are pretty much on grass and hay all year long. We do supplement them with some grain here and there, more so as a treat so that we can continue to interact with them and not have anybody be.
Now, you said he had a busted leg. Which leg was it? The one he's...
Yep, it's this one. So you can see he rested a lot, but he moves without any problem. He obviously has gained a good amount of weight. But he does. Come on. Come on. Melvin. Come on, Mel.
He's like, nope.
Come on, Mel. Come here. Come here. Yeah. Come here. He's like, just come to me. Now, we will bring Sully. You guys met Sully earlier. He does come in and we practice with the cows a little bit, moving them around from place to place. One, just to keep him in the habit of interacting with the cows, but also to keep the cows in the habit of responding to the horse. Because it makes it really easy to move these guys to any field on the property with the horse. Otherwise, it takes a little more time sometimes, unless you just grab bags of grain and then they will follow you just about anywhere. So this is Penny. So Penny was our bottle baby this year. She was actually born to one of our boar goats, and unfortunately she was born when it was really cold, and we were not there when our mom started into labor. So we found her after the fact, and she's a twin. She has a brother, Lincoln, and mommy took care of Lincoln from the start. But unfortunately, Penny was kind of left to get started on her own. When we found her, she was still wet and gross. Her body temperature was unreadable. So we actually took her into our viewing room, heated her up with heating pads, and we blanketed her and blew heat into kind of a bubble to try and raise that temperature. Because goats will not eat until they're at a certain temperature. They will not do anything. So it's one of those things, like, you got to take it step by step. And we finally got her going. Unfortunately, after the first 24 hours, Mom was no longer interested in her at all. She took her baby brother and was happy with him, but she wouldn't let her nurse anymore. So we took her, we bottle fed her. I kept her for a month, bottle feeding. And then Erica actually took her from us, and she's kept her going. And that little goat has the best outfit range that I've ever seen in my life. I'm surprised she's not dressed up right now, because she has some of the cutest outfits I've ever seen.
It's a goat. It's not supposed to have clothes.
She's adorable. She is adorable. They're actually getting another one from us probably today to take home to be Penny's friend, because goats can't stay by themselves. And goats are goats, and they do have to live outside of your house eventually. So Penny has a new pen and a new home, but in order for them to put her outside of their house, they have to have a second friend for her. So they're going to take home another little nanny goat to be her bestie. So welcome to the goat yard. These guys are all mamas and babies. Our buck is free roaming currently, and I can show you him. He actually was or has his own stall, his own paddock. However, he knows how to get out very carefully, and he comes and joins us, but he's so well behaved that we've kind of let him roam as of now. I'll show you him in a little bit. So
trying to eat my boot.
So that's Stella and Bella.
Which one's which?
Bella was a bottle baby last year. Her mom had twins, and her mom does not like girl goats in comparison to her boy goats. So we raised Bella, and then Bella had Stella this year, both of which are unbelievably social. They absolutely have no fear of humans. They love to interact. Bella has been in several parades. She loves everyone. So we bring her out a lot for petting zoos and to teach kids about goats and to show them the different fun facts. Like they only have one set of teeth. They have bottom teeth and not top teeth. Now our white girls, so my white girls are what got this started. I started with these little ones. I bought them at an auction for $10 and I bottle fed them. Now I would call them my guard dogs. So if I'm petting them, none of the other goats are gonna come because they're gonna headbutt them. They're much more all about the attention. They love big people, but aren't great with little people. So they do not get to participate in any petting zoos because they get a little bit naughty. So Stella is 3/4 boar and 1/4 Nubian, which is what these guys are. They're my milk goats. Bella is half and half. And then these babies are half and half. They're milk and boar. I only have a boar buck, so everybody that's bred has been bred to a boar. Purebred. He's gorgeous. And he's got, again, the best personality that you could ask for in a goat herd. I want all my goats to be friendly. Obviously, the white girls were a shot in the dark. Stella. Indy and Diva are both Ruby's babies from last year. They were C-section, so they were again bottle fed babies because after the C-section she would not take them back. So we tried to put them with her as much as we could, but she was not having it. She fed them for the first 24 hours, and then after that she wanted nothing to do with them. So they become barn babies and got loved, and so they're very friendly and they'll pretty much do anything. And you can see the different coat on Diva. Diva is like a sheep. She has more of that fuzzy coat for the winter. She was literally that whole, all of that was her entire body this winter. And it was so soft that you would really, it's like a bunny rabbit.
You're right, they'll eat anything.
Yes.
Trying to eat them.
Oh, absolutely. Goats have no problem with eating anything. This one loves snacks. Again, she has been raised as a barn baby. So everybody in the barn would feed her different things and she was all about it. Although she does not like chips out of your hand, she prefers to get her own out of the bag.
Oh my.
She is a little pampered. This is Miss Elsa. So Elsa was born this winter as well, and unfortunately she was actually born during the really bad cold spell. And the first night of her life, we had put her inside one of the stalls with her mom, and I had pigs in here at that time as well. And unfortunately, somehow her mom got out of the barn and the door got shut, so her mom and her got separated for the entire night. The pigs, believe it or not, took the baby, and they were, when I found them in the morning, they were cuddled with the baby to keep her warm. But you can see her ears. Clearly she had some frostbite on her ears. just from being in the cold until they took her. So, but she did really well, and it's kind of cool to see that the animal kingdom, they really do look after the babies across the board. Hey, Link. So this is Lincoln. Lincoln was our only boy this year so far. And he is a Dixie baby. He's pure boar. He's one that I'm definitely looking for. Hey, Peach! I'll be looking for a 4-H family that would like him. And we'd probably donate him to a 4-H family at this point, because he's going to make a beautiful boy. And he's growing so well.
We're in Allegheny County.
We are in Allegheny County. And he has his scrapey tags and all of his vaccinations and everything. But he's going to be, I did already band him, so he is banded. Not going to make any babies. But he is going to be a beautiful boy as he grows. This is Miss Elsa. And then the triplets are Nala, Ella, and oh, that's bad. I forget one. I have too many babies. But they're fun. They're all learning. And it was funny, it's our first set of triplets. We've never had triplets before. So it's interesting to see how Mama deals with it. But luckily it was a Nubian mama, so a milk goat mama, and she clearly has plenty of milk for everybody and then some.
Hey, it's my pants.
Yes. They like to chew on you. They like to love you. But these guys are another way that we kind of teach kids and show them the different livestock options and get them interested in this lifestyle, because this is definitely a lifestyle that you have to have a love for to do it well, and things change all the time. So for us, we reach out to a lot of people. Here at the barn, I prefer to get relationships with all different farmers, all different industries, and we ask questions. I think if you're in farming, equestrian, livestock in general, find people that you know or that you don't know and make friends. Call up so you have people to ask questions to, because there are things that come up out of the blue and out of nowhere that if you don't have a community that you can reach out to, you can get yourself into a lot of trouble pretty quick.
What do the goats do with the electric fence?
Oh, they'll jump.
Okay.
They don't like it. So
getting close.
They have to have this. I definitely recommend for anybody. The woven wire is an absolute. You cannot have goats without a woven wire. They do not respect electric. So these guys, if we were out in those fields, they'll hop in and out of those fences. They'll get shocked, they'll yell, and they'll go right back to it. So the woven wire is your number one defense for these guys. The electric just helps them stay off of the woven wire so that they don't try and climb it. That's really the only intention, is that they hit it, they don't like it. She knows how to escape. So I'm sure Stella will show you how you leave the field and how you come back.
Probably through that opening right there.
Oh yeah, she can fit through all of these. The babies, the one nice thing, babies aren't going to go anywhere. They're not leaving their mamas. Goats are very social. They want friends. So they usually stay pretty close. Now, I will tell you funny story of the white girls, because they were raised in my house. After they
You heard that right. She said house.
Yes, definitely my house. But when we first put them out into our backyard, they would escape the fence. And because they didn't have us to hang out with, if we wouldn't open the door when they were knocking, they'd leave. And they would go to our neighbors' houses and knock on their doors. And believe it or not, we have a neighbor that would allow the girls to come in and hang out with them and their dog for a little while. And then she'd bring them back home. So they've had a little bit of a A good life, huh? Except for when I eat the neighbor's flowers.
The free-range billy goat.
Hi, Mo. Little boy. Come on. So this is Mo. He's my billy goat. He's gonna be the daddy to all new babies. And he's free range. We've kept him locked up, but he knows how to get out of the one paddock, so we've kind of let him explore this lifestyle. He gets himself locked up every once in a while in a stall, especially when we're feeding the horses, because he does have a tendency to try and help himself to some horse grain. But he's such a good boy. He doesn't mess with anybody. Comes when he's called.
For the most part.
For the most part. So he's been allowed to live his best life. So this is Bob. Bob! Bob!
Hey, Bob.
Bob, where's George? So Bob was dropped off probably 2 years ago by his real mom and dad with feathers. And he has a broken wing. He's had it since he was dropped off. George is perfectly healthy. There's nothing wrong with him. My boys raised them, kept them alive while they were tiny, and they've been free. So they can literally go anywhere they want to go. If they want to fly away or walk away, they can. They do tend to meander out into the fields and hang out with the cows or hang out with the horses. I probably need to shoot you guys some video of them interrupting horse time as the horses are going across the creek. Every once in a while they will fight them, meaning like they'll pick at their butts or run after them to scare the horses. I think it's a fun game for them, but there are two of them. That's just Bob. He's lonely at this point. I'm surprised he's not acting nuts, because when George leaves him, he normally fusses and has a fit. But maybe George is the female and they have a nest. I don't know. I've never seen a goose egg here. But again, they do meander to the fields. They're not stuck here by any means. They're not in captivity. I don't own them necessarily. They are free to do whatever they want. Just so people know, I don't randomly go and steal geese. We just give them a home when they need one.
So they don't fly south for the winter, is what you're saying.
They do not. They stay here all winter long.
Somebody's asserting her dominance here.
She's so bad.
Well, then I see you got a few chickens.
We do. We have several huts of chickens, to be quite honest with you. There's another one down by our house. But this one, they have the barn run in. Those are all females. We get our eggs from that one usually. We have a breeding pen down below that my son likes to breed a few different options.
It's good recovery.
This is the best fun for goats that you can possibly have. This is their second trampoline. This one was donated to us after ours was destroyed by the goats. They went a little wild.
Really?
She'll be all right. Ruby's usually pretty good with them. I mean, she'll headbutt them, but it's usually not hard. It's not like Peach. Peach is mean.
Sheesh.
Ruby's gonna probably take a nap. She loves to sun herself on here and nap. It also provides them some extra safety from the sun or even the rain. They can go underneath it. Goats do not like rain. They don't like rain, they don't like water. They're very much all about it being dry, which is also why they do have two separate run-in areas. So we opened up the second yard so they had that run-in area as well as their one out of this barn, because there's a lot of them. Obviously, you can see we try and make sure that they can all get out of the weather if they need to. And as you've seen, Peach is a little bad, so we try and make sure that she's separate as much as possible. She was locked away from everybody else for a little while because she was a little too mean to the new babies, so she got separated. But then she started to act right.
Now that her baby's coming.
Now she's kind of doing her thing, so I think.
So does that one and this one fight because of the babies?
So not really. I mean, yes, they'll battle a little bit, but she's nowhere near as grouchy with her as she is with the Boer goats. And I think that's a dominance thing because she's bigger and she's just grouchy. Boer goats, in my opinion, are just much more docile than the Nubians, and maybe it's just my two Nubians that are brats. But the Boer goats are definitely, they just have a personality that you can't get away from. They're so sweet.
So would she get mad if I tried to pet her baby?
Oh, no.
Or not.
But Elsa's is probably gonna.
Hey.
Oh, you.
I need your face.
Baby
Come here.
catching's never fun. Well, it kind of is, but.
You ain't fast enough.
I know.
This one's not cooperating.
This one you can always catch.
I'm just trying to get her head. What to do with your babies?
We are licensed in the state of Maryland for both stable and rescue. So we did do that. Actually, 3 years ago, I went through all the licensing and have continued that licensing since. So they come in every year and inspect my facility, inspect how we keep the horses, what we supply, the facilities, as well as the animal care. So every year we are always waiting our inspection. So
how long you guys had it? You didn't tell me when you.
We bought the property in 2019, the middle of 2019, probably June, I think, is when we finally settled.
Why did I thought it was during the last recession.
Yep, it was June of 2019 is when we settled on the property. It took forever. Again, this process started in February, going back and forth with the bank and trying to get them to fix what we could. We had a lot of hurdles to jump through because a lot of things you don't realize with a farm.
Is that so?
He's enthused. But you don't realize a lot of things when you're getting started, especially if you've never been in farming. How to get homeowners insurance. You couldn't. We went to multiple facilities, different insurance companies, and no one would give us insurance on a farm.
Farm Bureau?
We had to, because of the state that it was in when we bought it, we finally were able to get like a dual. So we have homeowners and then we have farm, which is separate. And once we started getting some of the renovations done, we were able to get everything kind of settled. But it's a lot more work and a lot more like encompassing than you ever imagine when you're a layman getting into this industry. We did have a lot of help. Like I will tell you now, we've had a lot of help. We went through the USDA or the NRCA, whatever it's called, to help with funding on a lot of our renovations, which I'm not going to say good or bad because there's a lot of give and take when you couple with any of those industries that offer financing or support. things that you have to do. But I will say this, if you opt to work with them, you've got to make sure that your blueprints and your plans are accurate before you sign any contracts, because you do not, even if they tell you that they'll change things as you go, they don't. So you need to make sure that the things that you want are where you want them, and bring in old farmers, people that have done this for years and can help walk you through like just smart decisions, because some of that it's huge when you set yourself up and you put all the money into fencing, watering, grazing. If things aren't set up to make it easy for you, life is really hard, and it makes it that much more difficult in the winters. Summers are great. Spring isn't bad. Fall is wonderful, but winters are hell. They're never fun. You're always dealing with something. And it's one of those things that if you can get yourself set up and use the knowledge of people that came before you, you are so much better off. There's nothing that has been more valuable to us than the community of farmers, the community of equestrians that we've partnered with and asked questions to. They have been so amazing, and everybody's willing to give you an opinion, and everybody's opinion is completely different. If you ask someone, or you ask 10 different people how to do one thing, they're going to give you a different way from all 10 people, and it's your job to figure out what works best for what you have. And we've done that. Everything that we have in place, it's not all perfect. The way that we run the horses over is not where we wanted it, but it works. We've set it up to work for us. Just doesn't work for the tractor. So we had to make some other arrangements with how you get the tractor into other fields, because unfortunately where we put the crossing, the tractor can only go one way. It can fit one direction, but it cannot come back the same way. Otherwise, you have to go through the goat pen to go across that crossing, because the tractor will not make it. So just some fun tidbits.
All right, the secret question. If you had a blank check, what would you buy?
Oh, probably another 100 acres. To be quite honest with you, I would buy all of the property around us that is, so that we could expand into more fields, so we could buy hay fields. I would never leave this lifestyle. It's definitely something that I have grown to love. This is my happy place. So I would expand. I would most definitely buy more land, more property, so that we could continue to give even better grazing, better hay fields. I think I said before, hay is the most important thing for these horses. So for us, one of our biggest goals is to eventually acquire probably another at least 50 acres to run hay off of, and to transform those fields into teff grass fields. Teff grass is shown to just be a very healthy grass for horses. It's got a lower sugar content, high protein content. So, but there's a lot that goes with it. But for us, it would be amazing transformation for our barn to be able to do our own hay consistently.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe.